introductory comments to welcome you and really to celebrate what's a great day ahead and a great event. I want to first of all congratulate the students who have just done a remarkable organizing job. This room will be packed once we get to new school time. This room will fill up very quickly, and this is going to be an exciting day of presentations and wide-ranging thinking and debate, and I look forward to it. I just want to take 3 minutes, well, a few minutes to introduce the conference, and what I wanted to talk about was the return. I want to discuss the return of capitalism. And I'm not talking about that in the sense of the recovery. The recovery obviously will take years. There's a great risk of this double-dip recession in the United States, now talked about quite routinely. There's a risk of continued global weakness, seen in Greece, the collapse of the British pound, a lack of recovery of world export markets that are so crucial to many developing countries. So I'm not talking about the return of capitalism in the sense of recovery. The return of capitalism that I want to talk about briefly is about in the realm of economic discourse. It's how we talk about and how we theorize today's economy. The notion of capitalism, a social system with historical specificity and a definable set of characteristics and dynamics, both in economics and in the political realm, was of course at the core of classical economics from Smith to Marx. It's prominent in the writings of Hayek, Schumpeter, Keynes, Kalecki, Steindl, but the word capitalism disappeared from economic discourse. In the second half of the 20th century, it disappeared from the lexicon of economists. The word had a slightly dirty connotation, evoking notions of exploitation, evoking inequality, and it disappeared from the textbooks. Gregory Mankiw's 500-page tome, for which he was paid very handsomely on the principle of economics, does not mention the word capitalism. Even Joe Stiglitz's case, his textbook, also many hundreds of pages, uses the word capitalism just a couple of times. So capitalism disappeared. It disappeared in an array of first and second order conditions, in a discussion of rigidities and imperfections from otherwise market clearing opportunities. It drowned in both fresh water and salt water. It disappeared in real business cycles and exogenous shocks. The current meltdown, the financial meltdown and the economic slump, all of a sudden has brought the word and the concept back in the minds of the public and of economists. There seems to be, with this current crisis, a broad recognition of the very system-wide nature of the economic collapse. And it was precisely the system-wide nature of economic phenomena that were resisted in the last half of the 20th century by economists. So there's now an obvious recognition, a recognition of the obvious connections between financial markets and the rest of the economy, of the crucial role of the state in responding to the collapse of markets and to high levels of long-term unemployment, of renewed relevance of Keynes, of Minsky, of Marx's critique of capitalism. It's so unfortunate that Chaim Minsky didn't live another decade to see him now lauded as the most important economist of the century. Now, so while we lament, obviously, the economic suffering that this crisis has brought in this country and around the world, we should also, of course, respond as intellectuals to the return of capitalism. So without putting any burden on our really terrific lineup of speakers before they come to the table, it would not surprise me if this conference were a kind of historical marker in the reinvigoration of the thinking about capitalism. It seems to me that the world is much more now open to the concept, and it's a place like the New School and the speakers that we've brought in today that are precisely the group of intellectuals who have been thinking about this concept for decades, and who obviously are best prepared to reinvigorate our thinking about the system-wide features of this economy we live in. So I want to congratulate again the organizers of the conference, who really have put together a remarkable set of panels, and welcome you all to the New School.
So the way I was told is each speaker has 15 minutes approximately. Somebody asked for a bit more. I think it was you. Let's see how it goes, and I'll try to make this work because Duncan has to leave.
Actually, because you want to leave, and you want to leave
Yeah.
the end for the open discussion.
Yeah, and we want to leave time for discussion. So this first session is supposed to help us frame the question on how the crisis has effects on distribution from different, maybe theoretical frameworks. That was the idea. I will start by asking Professor Richard Wolff to give his talk. Richard Wolff is currently a visiting professor in the graduate program in International Affairs of the New School. He taught economics at University of Massachusetts Amherst for a long time. Before that, and he's professor of economics